Yo, this is SoulDrum86 bringing you another video. So I wanted to talk about one of the biggest issues that I think hurts WWE 2K. It's something that I've talked about on this channel. I've had videos dedicated to it, but I feel like it is worth bringing up again as more and more information comes out. As I see people's concerns or complaints about the franchise, and which I feel are very valid. But I think a lot of it stems from an issue that, again, that has plagued pretty much the gaming industry as a whole. Now, recently, I have uh, plugged in my PlayStation 2 and my PlayStation 3, and I've been playing a lot of old games. And on the PlayStation 2, it was backwards compatible with the one, so I've also been playing PlayStation 1 games. I only have PlayStation consoles in my house because everything else, sadly, and I wish I would, I mean, if I would have known the gaming industry would have turned into this, I would have kept everything that I've ever owned, like my Nintendo 64, my Sega Dreamcast, Sega Genesis. I would have kept all of it. Literally, I would have kept all of it. But I'm playing all of these old games, right? And not just wrestling games. I'm playing a bunch of different old games. And one of the things that hurts 2K is the fact that it is a monopoly now, right? Not just with WWE games, because remember, we used to live in a really, really fun time in gaming where every console had its own wrestling game at one point. And even when that kind of stopped happening, there was still other WWE games coming out, not just the main one. You know what I mean? Like not just the SmackDown versus Raw, or when it turned to WWE 13 and 12 and all of that stuff. Like there was still other games that you could get. There was other things to break up, what you were getting. And then on top of that, there was other wrestling companies that were making other games. And yes, we do have AEW Fight Forever, but you know what I'm saying. With sports games, we didn't just have NBA 2K. At one point, we didn't just have NBA 2K and NBA Live. We had NBA The Inside. We had NBA Inside Drive. We had Kobe Bryant's Courtside. All of the 989 NBA games. And same with the NFL games. It was Madden, it was 2K, there was NFL Fever, all of that stuff, man. There was that ESPN football game that was out. Like, it was just so much to choose from. And were all these games great? No. But all of them competed with each other. There was always something that one game had that, even if it was a game that you didn't like, you would say to yourself after playing it, man, I wish, whatever game that you're playing, NBA Live will add this. I hope they do this in 2K. And then eventually they did do those things. They did implement a lot of the cool features that were in other games. And so did those other franchises as long as they were around. They all kind of took something from each other. They all had something that one game didn't have, or if it was a feature that they all shared, one franchise went a little bit further with that thing than the other franchise. You know what I mean? And we don't get that anymore. Sadly, we don't have multiple WWE games. We don't have anything to break up the monotony of the yearly release of 2K. So yes, even though 2K has all of these issues that we bring up on this channel, that you guys bring up in other people's channels and even in my comment section, we all talk about it, right? We all bring these things up and they're very valid. Every issue, every complaint, everything that you guys have ever talked about when it comes to 2K is very valid. It is 100,000% valid. But the biggest elephant in the room is the fact that I think we're all just a little sick and tired of playing the same game over and over again, whether that be Madden, whether that be NBA 2K, whether that be Call of Duty, and that's why it was a breath of fresh air that Battlefield, regardless of what anybody thought about it. I only played the demo to Battlefield 6, but at least we had Battlefield this year to go head to head with Call of Duty because that's been missing for a long time. I would even argue that we need games like Medal of Honor back and all of that type of stuff. We need those franchises back, man. And I really do think at the end of the day, we're all just sick of playing 2K because we're asking 2K to be something that it will never be for us. Because now all they do is prioritize the money making side of it, right? It's no longer about our fun. It clearly is no longer about the fun anymore. And so, yeah, I think that is the level that we're all just at. Unfortunately, I really do think that we are just at that level where we are kind of just done with the franchise just because it's the same thing. I feel like, and just hear me out. I wonder if we all would feel a little bit better about 2K if there was other wrestling franchises out there, other wrestling games that we could go to play. And then, if 2K goes on sale or 2K does something pretty interesting, maybe we can pick up both wrestling games because, hey, I'm pretty interested in what 2K's got going on, but this is going to be the other wrestling game that's coming out is going to be the one that I stick to the most. We don't have any good arcade wrestling games. Battlegrounds tried, but that company, like, they don't really make the best arcade games. They try, their heart is in the right spot, but it fails in comparison. Like WWE All Stars is way better than what Battlegrounds ever tried to be. It wasn't even close in my opinion. And and bringing up arcade games, we don't get a nice mix of that anymore. Everything has to be simulation. It has to be real. And yes, there's a demographic for that. There's a demographic for every gamer. Unfortunately, the gaming industry feels that people don't like arcade games anymore. They don't want them. What's funny about that is that if you look in so many different videos and you look in so many different comment sections that bring up this very topic, right? And it could be based off of like, an 2K or something like that. You will see so many people want and beg for an NBA Street to come back out. Now, I know that we are getting NBA The Run, but that is recently announced. That was recently announced. And thank God we're getting something, and hopefully it turns out to be good. But for years, fans have always been asking, just make an NBA Street game. When EA kept messing up and not really making NBA Live really go toe-to-toe with 2K, every fan kept saying, just make NBA Street. We'll have fun playing NBA Street because you guys were great at that. But we didn't get it. For years and years, we didn't get it. So many fans ask for these things and the industry acts as if they know better or they know us. That's the thing that irritates me the most, is that they make things based off of what they assume, but it's like, are you guys paying attention to what you're seeing in forums and Reddit? There's a lot of people that want a Def Jam Vendetta again, like a new Def Jam game. Not like the way Def Jam Icons was made, but the way Def Jam Vendetta and Fight for New York, they want a new version of that game. Now, I could argue that you need better rappers in it. Like, it has to be the type of rappers that was in the old ones, because these new rappers, nah, absolutely not. Can't do a game with them. I'm not even trying to hate. Like, maybe a few of them could be in the game, but you got to get Method Man and all of them back in it. Seriously, got to get Ludacris, all of them back in it, not these new guys. But let me digress. They still want that game. Hell, I even want a new Def Jam Vendetta game. I think it'd be cool. But again, it has to be made like that. Can't be made like Icons. It cannot be made like Def Jam Icons. But that was a fun arcade game, and it was something different. It's a wrestling game with rappers in it, and it was dope. Like, seriously, it was dope. It's still talked about today. So I'm bringing up all of these old games, and I'm bringing up these things because it just speaks to the fact that I think we as gamers as a whole, we just want more variety. We need a break sometimes. We need there to be something else. And that is why so many people wanted AEW Fight Forever to be something that it never was going to be. And a lot of that is their fault for not promoting the game properly. And a lot of it, maybe you could say, is our fault for assuming that it was going to be something that could go toe to toe with 2K, but it was never meant. And Kenny Omega actually even said it in an interview. It was never meant to go head to head. It was meant to be its own thing. People may not have liked it, but AEW Fight Forever was very much meant to be a game that was pick up and play. You just want to have fun and play some quick matches and get in, get out. That's it. Bada boom, bada bing. Play co-op with your friends. that's kind of what the game was talked about when it came from the Young Bucks talking about the game, when it came from even Tony Khan would mention things like that when talking about the game. They never had the idea of making it anything that could stand toe to toe, like mode for mode, game mode for game mode, detail for detail with 2K. That's never what it was supposed to be. And I think that there would have been more of an appreciation for AEW Fight Forever if they did not allow the fans to build up those assumptions, because when they stayed quiet for so long and didn't say anything, people just wanted something new. To be honest, the level of disappointment that people felt with AEW Fight Forever speaks to how so many people wanted something new. I saw 2K fans say that they wanted something new. They wanted AEW Fight Forever to be on that level. Now, I can also say two things can exist at once, because even with what the product was that AEW Fight Forever put out, they still did not make their customization good enough. Like, you couldn't create a wrestler good, you couldn't create an arena good. All of that stuff kind of fell to the wayside. They didn't update the game enough with like current wrestlers, their current looks. They only did a couple of them. They did like one patch where you got like updated John Moxley stuff and extra Jay Cargill looks and stuff like that. And I think Trent Beretta, they had the updated version where he had a buzz cut and didn't have his long hair anymore. But and then they did a couple arena updates. They updated the Dynamite arena, but we never got the Collision arena. So you had to kind of make as best as you could. You had to make the Collision arena, but you really couldn't even do that because there were no assets that you could really grab in the creation suite where you could do these things. So yes, AEW Fight Forever did fail on a lot of those things. But the one thing that they didn't fail on was making a fun experience. And I will still back that game to this day. I enjoy AEW Fight Forever. I wish that it had more in it. It didn't necessarily need to be 2K, but it was different. It was different. You play the game differently. The controls were different. I think that's another thing too. It's like when you play the same game every year, you're playing the same mechanics. It's the same gameplay with just minor tweaks. And that gets old after a while. It's like one of the main reasons why 2K always starts to feel the same very quickly is because it's essentially the same game. After you're used to the new features and some of the new gameplay things, like when people start using the thumbtacks in this new one, when people start testing out the ragdoll physics, after all of that, the core game is still the same. So eventually it's just going to feel like you're playing 2K25. Because it's like, okay, yes, these new features were nice. These new features were definitely wanted, but it's still the same game. And I think year after year, a lot of gamers, it just gets old playing the same thing over and over and over again. And I think that the gaming community, we really need that variation. We need that variety. Not everything has to be a sim. Give us a fun arcade game. Just make it good. Give us a game that's going to focus on something that 2K might not focus on. Now, I know what you're going to say, because I did see Main Event Strizer had a video up where WWE put a patent out for like new wrestling games. But currently, we don't know if those wrestling games are going to be console releases or mobile games, because they could very well be mobile games. So we don't know. So here's hoping that they are console games and we can have some different vibes of a wrestling game, a game that we can actually play and enjoy. So we don't have to feel like we need WWE 2K. It's just something different. It doesn't even have to be something that pulls you completely away from the franchise, but I do feel like it needs to be something there so you can get a break from it, so you can actually play something different. So if 2K does frustrate you, then you can turn on this other WWE game. If AEW makes another game, you can get that and turn that on. Hopefully, I don't know when they're going to release, but Ultra Pro Wrestling and the Wrestling Code, we still got those games coming out, even though it's going to take a while. I just really think that these games, we need variety, is all I'm saying. With all of these different franchises, especially for the ones that come out yearly, we have to have we have to have a variety of games, man. I'm gonna tell you guys real quick. People that have been following me for a long time know this, and after I talk about this, then I'll let you guys go. Um, I was playing I was playing NBA 2K ever since the first one. Allen Iverson on the cover, and my battery is low on my controller, as you can see. But I was playing NBA 2K since the very beginning, right? Allen Iverson on the cover, and I remember it got to 2K18, and I remember at the time I was like, man, I'm just kind of sick of 2K. Even though I was playing NBA Live here and there, every time I played NBA Live, I was like, yeah, I just like 2K better. There were certain years of NBA Live that I did like. I liked Live '04. I thought that was pretty dope. Um, I liked what was it? Oh, is it NBA Live 10, the one with Dwight Howard on the cover? And I think Mike Wang was a part of making that one. I want to say it was NBA Live 10 that was good. And that game was really good. Graphically, it was good. Just NBA Live 10 was dope. It really was a dope game. Um, but after that, it was just kind of like it just wasn't good enough. But at the same time, I've been playing 2K and playing 2K and playing 2K. And then I was like, I got to 2K18 and I didn't buy 2K18 until way late. Like 19 was getting ready to come out when I bought 18. And the reason why is I just wanted to try something different. I remember playing the demo to NBA Live 18 and I loved it. And I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. So I decided that year to get NBA Live, and I played NBA Live all season long. Through the whole entire NBA season, I was playing NBA Live and I was having so much fun. And then after like the NBA season in real life was done, I remember going over to my brother-in-law's and my sister's house, and it was my niece's birthday, and she loves basketball, my niece, and so she got addicted. She started like in NBA 2K, so she was playing NBA 2K and still does every year now. And so we were playing, and I was like, man, okay, after being away from 2K all year, this actually feels good again. I miss it. Even though I enjoyed NBA Live, I missed playing NBA 2K. And I saw a lot of why it was like I remembered why I loved NBA 2K so much after playing 18. So after playing against my niece, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get this because it was cheap. It was on. After the season is over, they put the sports games on sale. So I ended up getting NBA 2K18 for like probably like 15 to 20 bucks tops, and I played that until 2K19 came out and got 2K19. But I tell that story to say that having the variation and having options was so vital, and it was so important for gamers, so we could get a break, so we could experience something different, right? So we can, see a game that had a different art style, or different art direction, a game with different mechanics, right? Game plays a little bit different, different features, just to experience different levels of creativity. I miss that, man. And I really do feel like we need that. I feel like that's part, not the whole, but just part of what is wrong with the gaming industry today. It's the lack of variety. So when you're stuck playing WWE 2K, I just want anybody who loves WWE 2K, I want you to know that a part of why we talk about the game the way that we talk about it is because it's all that we have. And it's all that we've had for so long. That's it. Let me know what you guys feel in the comment section, man. It's your boy Soul Drum 86, and I'm out. Peace.